There's a major rumor going around about where the next X-Men movie could go, and if Heroic Hollywood is right, they are digging into one of the most rich and most beloved storylines, at least for me, and that is
the Dark Phoenix saga.
So that is
the
quintessential Jean Grey story. And
it is
one of the most important X-Men stories in general, I think. This is coming from rumors in the Fox camp. As we know, it did happen already in X-Men: The Last Stand from Brett Ratner, which was reportedly terrible from me and kind of disappointing in terms of where they took characters, how they had certain ones.
I don't even know if you could really call that the Dark Phoenix saga, let's be honest.
I think they were trying.
They were trying, but they were adapting it in such a way that it wasn't even reminiscent from the comic books. It was its own version of it that was in line with those films, and it was that film's version of the Dark Phoenix
I think it
saga.
would be a difficult story to adapt, but with the
I don't know, they did it in the animated series.
Okay, so someone's got opinions. We're going to talk about where this could go. It is something they could definitely do. It is from producer Simon Kinberg. I think everything that hasn't been told from First Class and Days of Future Past is up for grabs going forward, so it would absolutely be a story we could tell in a different way. That is positive. I mean, after the reboot that came from Days of Future Past, anything is open. We also have Jean Grey recast as Sophie Turner, better known as Sansa from Game of Thrones. Could be really interesting.
Personally, okay, so I would love to see the Dark Phoenix saga adapted for film. And I don't want to see a direct page for screen because I've read it in the comics. I don't need to see it played out. You know, again, they did it wonderfully in the animated series. I'd like to see them take their own twist at it. That being said, are we ready for a Dark Phoenix saga already on the second movie with Sophie Turner? I want to kind of see her play out Jean Grey a little bit.
So you think maybe third or fourth movie?
I would like to see that, but I think it's something to build up to. So the Dark Phoenix saga is basically Jean Grey goes evil. She, after an adventure in space, the X-Men are off doing their space things, which I generally don't like, but she is hit by a burst of radiation and she gets the Phoenix Force power. And luckily at first it's just basically she's given the best of her abilities, full telekinetic, full telepathy, and she just assumes this beautiful green and gold outfit, and she is the Phoenix.
The Phoenix!
The Phoenix. Well, while they're back on Earth and just doing their normal X-Men stuff, and seeing how powerful they are, or she is, she chooses to have some kind of locks put on her, like mind locks, to kind of reduce her power set because they realize how big and scary she can be. She gets the attention of one mastermind, and the mastermind wants into the Hellfire Club's inner circle, and that's where Emma Frost is hanging out with Sebastian Shaw and his really awesome leopard and tiger stripe vests. You know, a man who wears a vest like that can't be afraid of anything.
He's pretty cool.
He is pretty cool. So Mastermind decides, and he's a guy who can project illusions into your mind. He decides to create this illusion that he is Jason Wyngarde of some like 1700 era.
Oh,
and that
gosh, I remember that. And this is long.
Yeah, and then Jean Grey is Lady Jean Grey, and he convinces her that she is the Black Queen of the Hellfire Club, and eventually breaks her down, and she's able to feel all these ball and emotions. And this is Chris Claremont era, so everyone's in sexy corsets and lingerie like they're at a BDSM club because Chris Claremont. And she eventually turns evil and takes it out on Mastermind because she's like, wow, you totally screwed with me. I'm going to make you go absolutely insane. Breaks his mind, then flies off into space, destroys a solar system, comes back to Earth, gets her powers completely neutered, and then they go on trial and she kills herself, essentially. Because as Uatu the Watcher says, Jean Grey could have become a god, but she would rather have died a human.
So that kind of is in line with what Ratner did. Sort of.
Just
the end, though.
Yeah. So that, as you can see in my quick description of what it is a huge chunk of character development that should we be tackling that in Sophie's next movie, because we're just getting her introduced in this. And I feel that's something that maybe we can have the introduction because we're just essentially getting Marvel Girl. We're getting, the first run of Jean Grey right now. We need to have Jean Grey be Jean Grey for a while. Maybe she can get some of the Phoenix powers in that next film, but I don't want to see.
We need to have that emotional development of understanding who she is and what the stakes are at, losing that essentially.
And also her relationship with Scott, because that's so integral to. I know, I'm not a Scott and Jean shipper at all. Trust me.
I hate that guy.
I know, I hate that guy too. but it's so important to her, and that bond is what makes and breaks so many moments for Jean and Dark Phoenix, that you need to have that develop to truly hit that. Now, obviously, the films can completely do their own version of their own Dark Phoenix saga, hopefully less Ratner and more in line with Kinberg, but we'll see. But I'm just saying that if we're going to have this film done, I want it done right, in the way that I feel Fox has been doing great X-Men movies. Like, as an X-Men fan, I've been very pleased and happy and excited about these movies.
There are some problems,
they're
but
not
I
great.
think there are also some high points.
It's not Deadpool. I wish I could love the X-Men films like I love Deadpool, but, maybe they'll get there.
I mean, maybe Negasonic Teenage Warhead will join the team again. I don't know. We'll see. I am excited to see how Sophie Turner plays the role. And how she interprets Jean Grey. And we will find out maybe if they're going to introduce certain concepts soon. The new X-Men sequel hits theaters on May 27th.
Yes.
So it's kind of close. We're getting there. And we'll see where that goes, at what point in the X-Men timeline they'll reach. Audience, should they do the Dark Phoenix saga, and how should they do it? Let us know below in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more.